It's time to get your news on. This broadcast is in text, audio and video and is accessed on wia.org.au.
Hey, welcome along to the WIA National News, the best news you'll get all week. Now, a couple of notices first. The 2025 Annual General Meeting of Amateur Radio New South Wales will be at 11 a.m. March 22. The notice of meeting along with annual reports have been sent out by post and email. However, due to an unfortunate production error, the printed reports show the wrong meeting date on page 3. The correct date really is the 22nd of March 2025. And don't forget, WIA has a new website for education. Pretty easy to remember. It's education.wia.org.au. Still on education, ARRL is equipping the next generation of radio amateurs with the knowledge to get active on the air. On the Air Live is a monthly interactive webinar series, and we are well aware a number of VK hams are also members of the ARRL, so this one's for you. The events are hosted by ARRL education specialist Wayne Green, KB4SDF, OTA, or On the Air Live, has seen rapid growth and good engagement in the 2 months it's been going. The most recent On the Air Live covered programming a handheld radio, and they got a lot of good questions, said KB4SDF. Being an interactive webinar, we have the opportunity to spend time discussing things on which members need more information. On the Air Live is accessed through the ARRL Learning Centre, and it's a benefit of ARRL membership, and members must be logged into the website to access it for live or archive sessions. Now, the next On the Air Live is Tuesday, March 25. It'll focus on advanced functions of handheld radios, including getting them on digital modes. Well done, ARRL. Now, some net advice, and every Thursday a global net called appropriately APRS Thursday takes place using Automatic Packet Reporting System, APRS, for 24 hours. It is a network of licensed amateur radio operators who share messages and position packets through radio and internet. For any operators, both old and new, it is a great opportunity to explore the APRS mode and make contacts with other stations joining the net. Over 500 operators take part in the net each week from across the world. So, join in.
John Moyle Memorial Field Day 2025. Announcement number 1. This is Dennis Johnston, VK1WIA, Contest Manager for the John Moyle Memorial Field Day 2025. This year's contest will be held between 01:00 GMT on Saturday the 15th March to 00:59 GMT on the 16th of March 2025. This year we have had the problem of even getting together in the same place because of the recent fires and in some parts flood damage. The purpose of the field day is to provide training and experience in emergency operations. So I hope that beside a little inconvenience, that all will go smoothly when operating in this year's station in the field. Amateurs are a mighty resourceful lot, and no doubt many will have operated with the WIA and SES over the last few months. So this contest just provides more practice. As the contest nears for this year, I can only hope that the dreary weather in many parts of Australia have not been too cruel, and that good activity on the band with good propagation will be rewarding, even though the sun is actually cooperating this year, but doesn't have to play the game. Don't forget that once the dismantling and packing up of all the equipment has been completed, there's still the most important part of the contest to be finalised. Yes, you must submit your station's log. This has 2 major purposes. 1, it informs me of your activity on air and enables me to score your entry. As importantly, it also confirms the contacts you have had with other stations and verifies their logs. So even if your log is only small, it does verify the contacts you made with those of other stations. Best wishes for the contest, and do not forget, please submit your log.
From here, there and everywhere, You've tuned to the Wireless Institute of Australia's national news service. We are VK1WIA. Now with international news, Jason, VK2LAW.
Hello. Leading this week's international news, radio alerts to avert man-animal conflicts as villagers' death leads to safety measures. Villagers of Baro-Chukir-Bosch, Choto-Chukir-Bosch, Chipani, Chipra and Samuktala decided to get themselves covered by ham radios following the death of two youths from Chipani. The death of the two villagers happened during an elephant attack in a remote district village. The youths purchased 5 ham radios and then trained themselves. Training is very easy and no rocket science. We then obtained a licence from the government to legally operate the radios, said Swarup Sahar, Secretary, North Bengal Amateur Radio Society. The society was formed by the youths of the 5 villages. How about some pie with that ham radio? And I'm not talking about the raspberry flavour. The David Sarnoff Radio Club, DSRC in Princeton, New Jersey, will operate special event station November 3 Papa on Pi Day, March 14th. The event celebrates the March 14, 1879 birthday of Princeton's most famous resident physicist, Albert Einstein, best known for his equation E=mc², which states that energy and mass, matter, are the same thing in different forms. So why call it Pi Day? If you take the distance around a circle, the circumference, and divide it by the distance across the circle, the diameter, you always get the number 3.14. The value known as pi, which also happens to be the date of Einstein's birthday, the 14th day of the 3rd month. November 3 Papa will be using CW and SSB, 2 modes in existence during Einstein's lifetime, 14.031 CW, 14.314 USB, 7.031 CW, and 7.227 MHz LSB from 1300 to 1900 Zulu. Harnessing the sun's power doesn't come easily or affordably, but researchers at the University of Tokyo believe they're working on a future of solar panels that will be cheaper and more efficient. They announced recently that they've combined titanium dioxide with selenium, a production process that could bring down the heavy costs of extracting titanium from its ore so it can be used in a variety of energy-related products, including solar panels. The scientists' method relies on the introduction of an element known as yttrium into the process of purifying the titanium. So far, they've been impressed with the resulting performance. According to recent reports in Business Today and on MSN.com, the only drawback is that the element leaves traces of itself behind in the final result, enough of a contaminant that it could compromise its durability and its resistance to corrosion. The next challenge, minimise what's left so that a new type of solar cell will be available in the future with a higher level of energy efficiency and affordability. Have a ham radio open house in April. World Amateur Radio Day, WARD, is April 18 every year, and in 2025, WARD is extra special. ARRL invites radio clubs and schools to organise a ham radio open house in April to highlight the amateur radio service for its development and practice of the latest radio communications and technology, and as a hands-on pathway into STEM fields for the next generation. British Science Week started Friday the 7th of March and gives radio amateurs the opportunity to share their passion and knowledge of the hobby to reach new audiences. Many schools have radio-related activities planned for students. Ham clubs are involved with events that are open to the public. A men's shed group is active as Golf 8 Echo Yankee Mike and would appreciate skeds, especially with other men's sheds. Maybe an Aussie men's shed could establish comms. The RSGB outreach team has partnered with the Radio Communications Foundation to provide FM radio receiver kits for 15 school, university, scout and youth groups to build. You can find these and other ideas and resources on the RSGB British Science Week webpage. The Amateur Radio Operators Reception, a traditional part of the NAB show experience for many broadcast engineers, will not take place in 2025. With our long-standing partner no longer operational, we're taking this opportunity to reinvent the event for next year by exploring fresh partnerships and innovative ideas, a spokesman for the National Association of Broadcasters said. A story in the publication Radio World says it isn't certain when the reception tradition began, but it has been a part of the show for at least 35 years. We've seen engineers lined up outside eager to get in, and the reception is noted for its full table's worth of door prizes. The annual event was not a program of sessions, but rather a networking reception, prompted by the fact that many radio and TV attendees to the NAB show are also licensed amateur radio operators. The National Society of Professional Engineers recently named Debbie Korth, Orion Deputy Program Manager at Johnson Space Centre, as NASA's 2025 Engineer of the Year. Debbie was recognised during an awards ceremony at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., alongside honorees from 17 other federal agencies. The annual awards program honours the impactful contributions of federal engineers and their commitment to public service. Debbie has dedicated more than 30 years of her career to NASA, supporting human spaceflight development, integration and operations across the Space Shuttle, International Space Station and Orion programs. Her earliest roles involved extravehicular and mission operations planning, as well as managing spaceflight hardware for shuttle missions and space station crews. For WIA National News, in Sydney, I'm Jason, VK1WIA.
From here, there and everywhere, you've tuned to the Wireless Institute of Australia's national news service. We are VK1WIA. Now, operational news with VK4FUQ. Felix.
Hello there. Now, Contest-wise 2025. The bands were live with the sound of contests. March 8 and 9, CW Commonwealth Contest. The Commonwealth Contest is one of the longest running contests in the HF contesting world. 88 years this has run, originally called the BARU Contest. It promotes contacts between stations in the Commonwealth countries and territories. CWs. You can participate in the RSGB Commonwealth Contest activity on 80 through to 10 metres. IOTA Contest 2025. Organised by the IARU Region 1 Youth Working Group in cooperation with the Hungarian Amateur Radio Society. The aim of the IOTA Contest is to increase youngsters' activity on the air, strengthen the reputation of the IOTA program and demonstrate support for youngsters across the world. The first session of this year's 3 IOTA contests is being held today, March 9. The IARU 100th Anniversary Centennial QSO Party. The IARU CQP will be held for 9 days, beginning Saturday 12 April and ending Sunday 20 April. This event will celebrate 100 years of the IARU. Harry Angel Memorial 80-metre Sprint, Saturday, May 3. VK Shires Contest, 7th and 8th June. NZ Straight Key Night. Next New Zealand Straight Key Night will be held Sunday, 8 June, from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. NZDT. 0800 hours to 0900 hours UTC on 80 metres. Polish and lubricate that old Morse key and enjoy an evening of old-time radio fun. Straight Key Night is an informal event which honours the roots of amateur radio, Morse code. Sent with a straight key, no bugs, side swipers, keys or keyboards. IARU HF World Championship. The 24-hour IARU HF World Championship starts at 1200 hours UTC on Saturday 12 July and ends at 11:59 hours UTC on Sunday 13 July. This annual contest supports amateur self-training in radio communications, improving operating skills, conducting technical investigations, and intercommunicating with other amateurs around the world, using the 160, 80, 40, 20, 15 and 10 metre bands. Trans-Tasman Low Band Contest, 19 July. Now, DX window to the world. Ian, G3WVG as VP8CIW and Nigel, G3TXF as VP8TXF, are active from the Falkland Islands during a short CW-only trip which will be focused on participation in this weekend's Commonwealth Contest, 8 and 9 March. QSLs via club logs OQRS and LOTW. GB0IARU is the special call sign for the Radio Society of Great Britain to take part in the celebrations of the centenary of the International Amateur Radio Union. Look for activity on 1 to 30 April and be aware that GB0IARU may be activated from all the 7 different DXCC entities in the United Kingdom: England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, Guernsey, Jersey and the Isle of Man. QSL by M0 OXOs OQRS and LOTW. PC80TT is the special call sign for members of VK1WIA Leiden to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the Netherlands during World War II, 5th of May 1945. Look for activity now until June 1. QSL PC80TT via the Bureau to PI4LDN. The special call sign honours the memory of Rudolf Takenbeck, PCTT, a pioneer of Dutch amateur radio who died in Neuengamme concentration camp 1944. Special event station LZ75 IPA is active right through 2025 to celebrating the 75th anniversary of the International Police Association. QSL via club logs OQRS or direct to LZ3HI. For WIA National News, I'm Felix, VK4FUQ in England.
From here, there and everywhere, you've tuned to the Wireless Institute of Australia's national news service. We are VK1WIA. Now, special interest group news with Bruce, VK3FFF.
And a very good day to you. Worldwide special interest group news, astronomy and wireless weather. The moon will pass into Earth's shadow and appear to turn red on the night of March 13th or early in the morning on March 14th, depending on the time zone. Some regions seeing at least some parts of the eclipse include much of Asia, Australia, Africa, the Pacific and Antarctica. Check out your favourite lunar website for the times in your area. But as an example, in Brisbane, you'll see the ending of the partial eclipse on the 14th of March at 6:47 p.m. The penumbral eclipse, however, will end on the 14th at 8 p.m. Worldwide Special Interest Group News, Summits on the Air, Worldwide Flora, Fauna Program, Parks on the Air and other adventure groups. On top, down under. VK7 are certainly out and about with POTA, SOTA. In the past couple of weeks, MAT, VK7MAT, activated Reedy Marsh Conservation Area on the banks of Brushy Lagoon, about 20 minutes north of Westbury. Contacts were made on 40 metres SSB and FT8. Phil, VK7ID, and Stuart, VK7FADZ, headed into the hills for some SOTA activations. Phil, VK7ID, activated McGregor Peak Summit, located in Eaglehawk Neck. After a steep hike to the summit, Phil set up next to the summit trig point and logged 12 QSOs on 40 metres and 20 metres, including 3 summit-to-summit contacts. McGregor Peak is situated within the Tasman National Park, making it eligible for both POTA and WWFF. Stuart, VK7FADZ, made his way to the summit of Collins Cap, which stands at an elevation of 1,063 metres and offers breathtaking views of the Derwent Valley. During his activation, he logged 8 QSOs on 40 metres and was able to complete 2 summit-to-summit contacts, one of which was with VK7ID. Then, on race day, Rod, VK7HAM, and Al, VK7AN, and Peter, VK7ZPE, skipped the hustle and bustle of the Launceston Cup and headed to the peaceful Reedy Marsh Conservation Area. This dual-reference site also qualifies for both WWFF and POTA, where each operator logged 24 QSOs. If you're tuning in on a Wednesday, you'll likely hear VK7HAM and VK7AN and VK7ZPE activating a park in the northern region of VK7. So be sure to join in and snag a contact with them. Now, Marty, VK4KC, POTA Admin Australia, reports.
Only a few months away now till the 4th annual Parkfest weekend. The Solitary Islands Beach/Parkfest will be held Saturday the 3rd and Sunday the 4th of May 2025. It's a weekend where portable activators can set up a portable station in parks, forests and beaches around Corindi, which is at the mid-north coast of New South Wales. Participants are welcome to arrive earlier or stay later than the weekend and make it a longer stay if time permits. Participants run activations at their own pace. Some may just want to be set up in one location for the day, whilst others may be attempting a rove and trying to activate 10 locations in a day, where others may not want to activate at all, but just be there for the social scene. We will be staying at Reflections Holiday Park, Corindi Beach, which is suitable for caravans, motorhomes and tents. You can book directly with Reflections and let them know that you are with the Hamfest Amateur Radio Group so that they will allocate a site in a designated section. For more information, please contact Alan McDonald, VK1WIA, whose contact details are on his QRZ page, or search Solitary Islands Beach Parkfest on Facebook. On another note, I would like to announce that the Parks on the Air POTA program in Australia has now over 10,000 entities to activate. Besides the United States of America, we are the only other country with this quantity of locations to activate from. I appreciate our POTA state mapping reps who have been hard at work maintaining their areas. This is Marty, VK4 Kilo Charlie, on the sunny coast.
Thanks, Marty. Worldwide Special Interest Groups, CW. There are CW contests aplenty for the more aficionado. But here is a genuine hard one to enter. The George Batterson 1935 QSO Party is a CW event in which participants build 1935 era transmitters and use them to contact other participants. Transmitters must be 1935 or earlier types of self-oscillators, such as the Hartley, TNT, TGTP, Mopa, Colbits, Crystal Power Oscillators and Crystal Mopas, designed from QST, the ARRL Handbook, or any other publication or source of the period 1935 or earlier. Commercial transmitters manufactured during 1935 and earlier are also allowed. Tubes must have been available up to and including 1935. The QSO Party takes place April 5th through to the 7th and April 12th through to the 14th on 160, 80, 40 and 20 metre bands. The event honours George Batterson, W2GB, who helped form the Antique Wireless Association. Worldwide Special Interest Groups Digital. Amateur Radio Digital Communications, ARDC, will host a community meeting on March the 15th, 2025, starting at 1700 UTC. The meeting will take place over the Zoom platform. Community meetings have become a tradition at ARDC. It's a chance to keep up to date on the things that are being worked on and the grants ARDC have made, and it's an opportunity for you to share your ideas and opinions. The Brandmeister DMR network will no longer support certain devices with DMR IDs that begin with the number 1. Hams utilising the Brandmeister network with affected DMR IDs are encouraged to request a new ID from Radio ID. Brandmeister is requiring their users to obtain DMR IDs that adhere to a Mobile Country Code or MMC standard to help facilitate automated process that make up the Brandmeister network. 5-digit CAP Plus IDs will stop working June the 1st. 7-digit personal radio IDs, starting with 1, will stop working on January the 1st, 2026. Repeaters with 6-digit radio IDs, starting with 1, will continue to work indefinitely. Worldwide Special Interest Groups, Final Frontier. Failed. Marrakesh, we have a problem. Royal Moroccan Air Academy, Marrakesh, Morocco, direct via CN8ERA, was unable to establish comms with the ISS recently, and ARRS has been working to determine what exactly happened. Worldwide Special Interest Groups, IOTA, Comoro Islands, AF007, Elvira, IV3FSG will be active as D68Z from the Comoro Islands, a group of volcanic islands in the Mozambique Channel, an arm of the Indian Ocean lying between Madagascar and the African mainland. She'll be active now until at least March 18th. D68Z will operate SSB, FT8, FT4, CW and RITI on 160 through to 6 metres. Club Log's live stream will be enabled and IK0XBX is her pilot. QSL via Club Log's OQRS, Low TW or via IK2WAD for direct and bureau cards. During her trip, Elvira will also be mentoring 3 local youths who will learn how to raise antennas and work the pile-up before attending this year's IOTA summer camp in August. There are also plans in the works for the station to be operated remotely by experienced operators as well as IOTA Italia members. Worldwide Special Interest Groups, Radio Amateur Young Timers, IOTA, Youngsters on the Air. Here's Alec, VK2MV.
Thank you, Bruce. This week I want to share a happy discovery at a US high school in the state of Maryland. Students in Kent County High School who are learning about professional radio have fallen in love with the amateur side of things. The students participated in their first ARRL School Club Roundup last October. With the support and some loaned equipment from the Kent Amateur Radio Society, K3ARS, the students logged contacts in the US and overseas. Earlier this year, sparks flew again in the manner of speaking during Winter Field Day. Some of the teens who were involved with WKHS, Kent County High School's FM radio station, returned to experience once more what the amateur side of the medium can do. They called CQ from the school parking lot and learned how far their radio waves could go. Chris Singleton, Kilo Echo 3 Mike Charlie, teaches the broadcasting course where he is also manager of the school's FM radio station. Chris encourages the student to study for their license and set their sights a little higher. They are hoping to reapply for an astronaut contact through amateur radio on the International Space Station. I hope they make contact. For VK1WIA National News, I'm Alec, VK2MV in Sydney.
And thanks, Alec. Worldwide Special Interest Groups Video. Remember the video service Skype? In a move that could have been seen coming from at least a decade away, Microsoft has confirmed that the Skype service will be shutting down May the 5th. This comes after an intrepid person stumbled over a curious string in the latest Skype for Windows preview. This string seemed intended to notify the user about the impending shutdown, telling them to migrate to Teams instead. Skype was originally created in 2003 by a group of European developers, where it saw some success, with the service being acquired by Microsoft in 2011. Much like other messaging services, each Skype user has a unique ID, but there is also integration with phone services around the world. When Microsoft overhauled the user interface in 2017, this caused a split between classic UI fans and the heretics who liked the new interface. With Microsoft not really finding a way to stop the bleeding of users by this time, and with its nascent Teams service enjoying success despite any complaints anyone might have about it, it seems that now the time has come where Skype will be put out to pasture. For the handful of Skype users still left today, the options are to either download your data before it's erased or to move your user account to Teams. I'm Bruce, VK3FFF from sunny Bendigo.
It's a date, and coming up, VK7 Meet the Voice social outing, Ross Caravan Park, March 23. In VK4, it's the Redcliffe and Districts Radio Club Redfest, April 12. The WIA AGM, May 3 and 4 in Bendigo. Also, 3 and 4, the Solitary Islands Beach / Parkfest for POTA, May 3-4. Now till next we meet, I'm Graham, VK4BB. Walk softly.
From Australia, this has been the Wireless Institute of Australia with the weekly news service. This broadcast is in text, audio and video and is accessed on wia.org.au.
Courtesy of Bevan, VK5BD's ATV and YouTube channel, this has been WIA National News. We're back now, live and local, and your voice, your callbacks. And don't forget, tick like.